many people we got here? So we can drum up a bit of noise in the studio. For tonight's first in-depth guest, Ghetts is in the building! Jeez! Good to see you, my brother.
Well, go on, dog.
I'm good, man. I'm even better knowing that you're sitting in the building and you're here, you're
Come
ready.
on, we're here. Works is running.
So Ghetts, I guess, you know, there's so many ways we could start this conversation. I'm going to start it the official way by saying Happy New Year.
Yes, brother, thank you. Happy New Year to
How was
yourself.
Christmas, first and foremost?
I was beautiful, man. Just chilled out with the family, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even go out that much over the Christmas period on New Year's. I was just chilling still.
Yeah, same. Like I thought this year, let me just take a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
Cut back on the bookings, even though it can be quite a lucrative time of year.
Exactly, I done exactly the same thing also, you know, I cut back on the bookings and just chilled out, man.
Sometimes you got to just get ready, recharge and ready for the new year, man. We got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, if anybody not only wants to listen to this, you can actually check this out on the live stream. We're streaming this right now, bbc.co.uk/1extra. We're gonna go back to the very beginning. Because we know that, you know, you're a seasoned pro in this thing. People know, you know, parts of the history. I'm sure people have collated their own story and put stuff together from the music and previous interviews and whatnot. But I want to go back to the actual beginning, man. Now, I know you're from East London.
Yes.
That's where we first met a long while back now. But I want you to, for people that don't know about, you know, growing up in East London, particularly Newham, where you were raised.
Yeah.
Can you paint us a bit of a picture what that was like coming up?
Sick, man. Like, it's one of the birthplaces of grime, along with Tower Hamlets. So just to be around that energy when that was going on, like something brand new, fresh, felt amazing to be. Like, I weren't part of it straight away. I was an onlooker, listening, and I was a fan. Still am a fan, in all honesty. Listening to the music, listening to my favourite MCs go to radio, some legendary sets that I've still got on TDK now. Yeah. Legendary moments that, you know, that I'm proud to say I witnessed at that time, and there's something that I was into organically. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't forced onto me, it's just something that I just love from the get-go.
Now, East London, like you said, you know, Newham, Tower Hamlets, those boroughs in particular, like synonymous with that birthplace of grime. But before that, you know, before grime kind of came around, early 2000s, you know, off the back of UK Garage, where would we have found a young ghetto? As you, where would we have found you? Like, where were you out in the streets?
Stratford McDonald's.
Wow, the legendary Stratford McDonald's.
Stratford McDonald's or Ilford one of them two. Wow. But yeah, crazy, and just listening like so before the grime, my thing was garage. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was having the pay-as-you-go heartless arguments. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Very much into Play Delero, very much into Wiley. You know what I'm saying? So coming off the back of that.
It's crazy you mentioned that particular clash as well, because I had Heartless on the show last night. Yeah. I still always reminisce, and like usually it's the opposite. Usually you're a little bit, you're not too happy that you missed out on big events. When I say that, I've never been happier to not be somewhere. The night when that Heartless and Pay-as-you-Go thing went down at Destiny's, I wasn't there and I was happy.
To me, look, this is how it went for me, because a lot of people always miss this out. When we talk about the Heartless first Pay-as-you-Go, we talk about that night in a rave, Nah, I'm going to be very honest, I don't hear anyone ever talk about this. Okay, so Pay-as-you-Go, they didn't go their way in that rave that night.
Not at all.
That's the honest truth. But in that time period, no one was ever going to beat Heartless in a rave, in that capacity, in all honesty. But guess what, though? Wiley went radio the next day and had a dub over Pulse X, I think it was, the remix version, Ready.
I remember it.
And that is the first time I ever heard someone turn around something that quick. Like, that's where turning around the war dubs that quick came from. That
literally, like, you might have just uncovered an actual, like...
I know, like, I'm a real fan, like, you know, like, I don't have grime arguments with people.
Because you know the facts.
Because the fact is, even when I wasn't part of this, anyone comes to my house now, let's talk about artists, even people think that I'm not big fans of, I've got their discography on disc from their first CD to their latest in the packet.
Sick.
So when I'm talking opinionated, it's because I've bought my opinion and listen.
You know your stuff,
like,
man. It was almost like, to be a grime MC, to burst, to come out onto the scene and to have any kind of chance of knowing, you know, the tactics, the styles, and the techniques of being able to come into that arena. You had to do your homework.
Trust.
Things have definitely changed, man. Things have definitely changed. Like we're gonna address it all, man. And you've had like an amazing 10 plus years,
man,
of doing this thing, which we're gonna look back at and celebrate and play you some tracks. We've got loads of your music in the archives. I don't know how we're gonna squeeze it all in. I've got a couple Fire in the Booth clips.
Let's try.
I think we've got like movement clips in there. There's some freestyles that you may have forgotten that you even done. We're really gonna go in, man. But like we were just talking about that early, before grime, before this whole arena was created, you were listening to, I'm sure like the rest of us, artists that were also international, man. What were you listening to?
Pac was my guy.
Yeah.
It was weird at that time because you felt like you couldn't like Biggie either, but you did, obviously.
Yeah.
Because he was the swagger don in the raves. He had the raves bubbling, but I was definitely a Pac fan. So I was listening to a lot of Pac at that time, a lot, you know what I'm saying, and arguing with people about Biggie and whatnot.
Those arguments like barbershop days, or sitting around the estate. Like, even though you were a fan of a Tupac and Biggie, you had to pick a side when the argument came up.
I just picked Tupac, but you know what's happened over the time? Biggie still lives in a rave.
Yeah, I don't think there's many MCs in this country that haven't, obviously apart from the ones that are maybe a bit too young, but to not acknowledge, you know, the importance of a Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah, man, the impact was crazy, like, across the world. So just to, you know, listen to them two growing up, crazy, man.
Right, also, once again, folks, if you want to check out what we're looking like right about now on a Tuesday night, 3rd of January, you can check it out on the live stream, bbc.co.uk/1extra. Now, taking it back to, you know, we spoke about those early moments in grime, you know, that kind of transition from garage into grime, the pay-as-you-go heartless sets that you were listening to. You then picked up a microphone yourself. Like, this could have gone, I guess, a number of ways, man. What made you have that? What created the character, if you like, the MC, the energy that was Ghetto and is now Ghetts?
I've always been like hyperactive, so I guess that when you mix that sort of personality with the energy that grime possesses, it's like a big explosion.
Yeah, like a lethal concoction there, bro.
Yeah. So that was crazy, and just to see people from my area or people that was close or just down the road to me make something of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, definitely inspirational seeing what Dizzy done, you know what I'm saying? Because even before he started the music, we met each other through other angles, you know what I'm saying? So just to see someone that I had met or been around or do something so inspirational. Same with Sharky, same with Stormin, Mac 10, you know what I'm saying? All of the lads just that I'd been around to do something inspirational that wasn't the other stuff. Was crazy, and I just started, I used to read a lot, and then I started putting words together, and people was like, your thing's a bit different, your thing's like a storytelling, and you know, I'm just patting up a bit, write a few reload lyrics, so a few one-liners, because that was the advice. So, you know what I'm saying, and then I was just listening to what I was told, and you know, I followed the footsteps of the man still. And
from there, you know, having those lyrics down, and, you know, I'm sure you were working on your craft for a while, and then that moment, I'm sure, came where you were finally, as you would put it, in the room. You know, when you're in that room. Like, what was your first experience of being in the room, like on a set, on like a Deja or wherever it was?
Where did I go first? In the first week I had a clash with a guy called Dimples. Big up Dimples still.
I remember him.
Yeah, from North London. Good lyricist as well. Had a clash on Mystic. Was that in Hackney? The one in Hackney, Mystic FM.
I think that was one of the, it was in Hackney for a minute.
Stormin took me there, and I had a clash there. And then
was it like a clash on your first set straight in?
On my first set. But you see my thing, I've never been like unsure.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been unsure. If anything, I've been overconfident.
Yeah.
So, so I had a clash on my first set. And then we had a rematch at Heat FM.
Who won the clash? Who won the first one?
I'd say I won the first one, clearly. I'd say the second one's debatable.
Yeah.
It was in his hometown. In all honesty, I'd say the second one's debatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. So I guess from there, that gave you that I guess, an appetite.
Yeah, for that.
For it. Like the blood, like you can smell the blood. And he's like,
then
I'm going to go and get some other guys.
Then I was just running around wild.
I remember like bumping into you around those times, and like we had some people like who we had, you know, acquaintances who we both knew,
course,
and like introduced to yourself. And my first impression was, this guy is really lively, bro. It's a way of putting it. Like the energy, like. He could be a problem for people as well. That was the first impression I got.
Yeah. You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong.
But I guess it was harnessing that energy that you know, you'd already had that out there in the streets. You'd been doing whatever it was, and even suffered the consequence, and been to jail and whatnot, and come back. And I guess harnessing that energy and putting it into
the music, man. I just wanted to focus, bro. Like, it's hard to have this sort of energy and be in a box. Yeah. Bro, like, it's the hardest thing.
It must...
Like, it's... Oh, bro, I cannot explain to you, that, like, no. I needed... So that's why I just focused on the music, knuckling down and doing what needed to be done. And, even being around Kano, Home Sweet Hometown, was a blessing, because I see things that an artist wouldn't necessarily see till later on in their career. I saw at early stage, so that helped me to focus even more. Little things like that just helped me to really knuckle down and focus and understand the craft.
Going through it all, man, like Top 3 Selected dropped, and the feedback must have been crazy, because around this time, it was still around the time where MCs were literally still kind of based... Apart from, the certain few that had gone away and done actual bodies of work, you know, Kano, Wiley, Dizzy at the time, Lethal Bizzle maybe had done his thing a bit. People were still very much based in raves and on the radio. So songs weren't necessarily getting made as much.
So when I done that, it was like, yo, like he's what's the word? Transcended into that.
Them ones, literally, and... From there, I guess the hunger to be in the studio, around that time actually, around that kind of 2007 time, a lot of MCs who were just literally in the studio, I mean in the raves, getting reloads and on the radio station trying to spin other MCs, they were then heading into the studio to make tracks and projects.
Because I done 2009 first, but it was over other people's beats. But from that, it gave me the links. People wanted to work with me, so then I could get beats of my own, and that's when I started working on Ghetto Gospel. And Rapid was one of the first people I gelled with. Sometimes I feel like if I could produce, I would be Rapid.
That's who you'd be.
I would have made that for me.
You know what I guess that's a priceless thing when an MC finds that producer.
I found like 4 of them now. I feel like
that's it. That's like album work's done.
Fam, trust me. Yes.
Crazy. Now, Ghetto Gospel, I'm glad you mentioned it, because that definitely, like, for me, and I'm sure many other grime fans and just music fans in general, anyone who's had the time to take that CD in or that tape in, especially around the time it was, it's a classic. It goes down in the classics folder without a doubt.
I didn't actually know what I was doing though.
But you know what?
It's mad. Like,
how many artists do you have probably made a body of work or just like put some tracks together and just gone with their heart or gone with the vibe, and classics just happen?
It's crazy, because I just remember like how everything come together and me playing it to people, and even like Light's done a song with Merlin and Tension. And I remember just like liking that sound and saying, who made that? And he's like, Merlin, some youth from Bow, man. I'll introduce
Merlin's
you.
is done as well, man.
Exactly. And then I linked up with Merlin, and he ended up creating half of that album. Like, you know, big up Merlin as well.
See, also, I was going through the album earlier, just like, I knew you was coming in. I was like, let me just recap on. I went all the way back, like Ghetto Gospel, and like, there's a track on there with Scorcher and Wretch that, like, I forgot about, but I remember at the time I used to love that record. And that for me was like early movement. It was those days when we was doing a lot of work together, and we at least had one track of us on each project across the board, and this one was my one. The movement, you must get asked about the movement all the time. Like, is there gonna be a movement project? When you gonna do this? Why this? Why that? I'm just gonna ask you again now as well. Like 2017.
I hope so, man.
Do you reckon?
Do you know
maybe?
what is This is what you do. This is the honest truth. When you speak to the rest of the man, then tell them, Ghetts is on it. Like, I'm on it now. Like, I'm on it.
You're saying it on air now to the world anyway.
I'm on it, fam. So when you ask the man them, see if they sound as sure as me.
All right, I'm gonna. Like, Ghetts his TikTok. He's on it.
Yeah, I'm TikTok.
I gotta get Devlin.
Yeah.
I gotta get Wretch. I gotta get Scorcher. I gotta get Mercs.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I'm on it, innit? So
I'm gonna spend, like, next time I see all four of them, I'm gonna work on that. Now, Ghetto Gospel, the mixtape, like I mentioned, people were starting to put together bodies of work. You had, East London was on fire, if you like, when it came to grime music.
100%.
Pirate radio stations like Rinse, Deja, like, it was really starting to happen.
Yeah.
You'd had success stories like Dizzy winning the Mercury, Wiley had done his thing, Kano had his Home Sweet Home album. Things were really picking up. Channel U,
yes,
which done so much for, like, our entire culture.
Got Darren still.
Yeah, got to big up Darren, man.
Yes.
Rest in peace to the founder of Channel U. Then it was like clashing season just came. Like, obviously
redundant.
It was literally like people like yourself, like you said, the first time you were in a room on a radio set, it was clashing time, but it seemed like there were clashes happening left, right, and centre. Of course, Lord of the Mics dropped.
As you know, Tugs, a lot of those clashes were organic. This is the difference.
Yeah.
So like, with so many egos in one room and being around people so regularly, people that wasn't in your same circle of friends, just sometimes having a bar really helped.
Yeah.
And a lot of these clashes were organic. So when people go about planning them now, it doesn't have the same feel.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna happen that way again. You're trying to relive golden moments.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to everyone, but you're trying to replay golden moments. You can't replay a golden moment. That's why it's a golden moment.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of the excuse me, the new generation and the younger batch of MCs, grew up listening to these clashes, watching them on the various DVDs and stuff that was out. And now it's like you said, a lot of the clashes now are pre-planned. Like, aside from Lord of the Mics, like in other shows that you get a lot of pre-planned clashes. Radio sets are kind of put together in a different way, when literally it was someone just turns up in a room and you can feel them breathing down your neck and it just starts.
Man's in the car with Titch, the radio's on, we're in the car, stationary, fam. Someone's on radio and they're saying, you have a guy on radio.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to be the MC that's on when Ghetts and Titch decide to head towards the station.
Like, we're going radio now, like, this was the thing, like, it's because what people have to understand as well, it was actually calculated. As much as it was organic, it's also calculated because, one, that's our only form of promotion. So we have to do that.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. So when the doors started to open and that wasn't our only form of promotion no more,
the focus obviously widens.
The focus widens, and also who benefits more from that situation once you've opened, you know what I'm saying?
All these other doors.
And as mad as that sounds, it's actually the truth. Like, man was sitting at home, like all the radio stations, they're in a radius for man to get to into 10, 15 minutes. Someone's on. I've got a counteraction for his bar. He ain't said it yet. We're going there.
That's the beauty of those days. Like, the radio stations were, like you said, in a 15, you could be you could be at one of 5 stations within 15, 20 minutes.
And that's it. So
there wasn't a radio producer to clear it with.
No.
There wasn't, like, you didn't have to send in your lyric sheet to be approved.
Exactly.
Like, it was there. I'm gonna turn up, and if this guy says one thing that I feel is even slightly remotely in my direction.
Hella tension
I've been at some of those sets.
What, fam? You think I don't? You think I missed that tension? I don't.
It was a fun time, but it's great.
It was sick, man.
That was done, and it opened so many doors. Artillery, bruv. Like, where did that hook come from? I just need to know that, because I've seen that hook, that line.
That was divine intervention, because I had recorded the whole lyric, the freestyle or whatever, and just recorded it.
Yeah.
And as I was listening to, while Danny C was mixing that down, I was listening to it, I was like, something's missing. And then I just started saying that, but I was saying,
sick.
And I said, artillery.
Wow.
And then I said, Dan, just humour me.
Yeah.
I placed it, and then I was like, it sounds nang.
And that's what I was going to ask you about as well, because a lot of MCs who of course have been inspired by you, look up to you, like would love to know about the process that you go through when putting stuff down. And I'm sure sometimes, like you just said, things can come out of nowhere.
Definitely.
And other times, I'm sure it is very much planned. Like, how do you go about putting tracks together and writing bars?
To be fair, since I've been able to afford studio and everything's been gravy, I don't go to studio pre-prepared.
Yeah.
I only used to go that when I had to watch the hours.
Of course.
You know, like you've got
3 out of 30 quid, it's a 10 out, So, can't be wasting time.
For a long time, I don't ever go studio pre-prepared. I just have a beat maybe sometimes, or not even that. I like to do producer sessions where we make the beat and I've got as much input in the beat as possible without touching any buttons. But I just write everything on the spot.
You know, like, I'm sure lots of MCs out there are probably writing down these and taking notes, actually. In fact, I've got a question from one of the listeners. It's about a bar.
Okay.
Like, they've broken it down into 3 tweets. They sound like they can't continue their life until they know what's going on here. Big Boy Easy says, I need you to ask Ghetts this. He has a verse in his Fire in a Booth that starts, Time Bomb, John Travolta in Face Off. It stops at, but I bet you I can find you a John though. John who? John Doe.
Yeah, so
he says, I need this analysed.
In the Fire in the Booth, I always do something where I link the lines. So in the Fire in the Booth, I kind of go through all the Johns in the films, like John Wayne, John McClane.
Yeah.
And then I get to the end of that, and I said, I bet you can, in a spirit full of lost souls, but I bet I can find you a John Doe. John who? John Doe. So basically, for anyone that don't know, John Doe is basically when they can't find an identity for someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So after we went through all the Johns...
got to the John Does.
we got to the John Doe, yeah. So big up yourself,
Shout out to Big
man.
Boy Easy.
Big Boy Easy listening to the bars, and yes, I respect
taking
that.
in and like really,
that's
another thing, like the fans of grime, you know, really take in what's being said and really break things apart and like want to know what's going on and it's important, man. I feel like it's the perfect time to play a clip of your first Fire in the Booth.
First one?
We go back to 2012.
Reckon it's better than the second one?
Do you know what? I'll tell you what we do. We'll play a clip of both of them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back to 2012, Fire in the Booth and Ghetts.
Look, my luck's bad and my jinxed. I don't wanna risk my life, it's worth more. At least I never had to fight a turf war. Living in a place where crime occurs more. Man, I like, yo, I just so man. So it's only right you serve yours. I'm a leader, not a follower. I'm in need the least of reason to bother your in defense, or else it's me with a covenant. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to walk on the righteous path. Anybody that knows me well will tell you I don't wanna write violent bars. And anybody that knows me well will tell you my man's got a diamond heart. Plus I'm getting older and wiser, dog. I analyze my life to find myself, body, spirit, soul, mind apart. I expect that. Some of the old fans won't respect that, but I'm a grown man, and I'll be down to my music now, don't reflect that. What am I saying though? Listen, I ain't one of these new wave dons. I don't wanna be the hardest out nowadays. I'm influenced by Lupe songs, substance and abundance. And if you wondered what I'm gonna come with next, probably won't appeal to some youngers. See, I know what they wanna hear. They wanna hear me say to an MC, my man, she's got. But I'm way too deep for that. I'm one of them people that don't believe the media been feeding, man. I got a feeling, fam, someone digging in deeper than the preacher can. Most of the world's plugged into the matrix. I took the red pill. Now I'm accustomed to the basics. Screaming knowledge is power. Open a book, done knowledge is ours. Now I could have an argument in parliament with them when it's politics hour. They see bring man the DVD now and I'm on the next frequency. But if you ain't got an open mind, you can watch it not even see. My mother used to tell me frequently, young blood know where you come from. Yes, the subject's deep and deep. I know where I come from, know where I'm headed. Outsiders get air when they're in it. I don't need your approval. I don't care, so I tell them. Perfect. I'm just being truthful. This airs on my denims. Before you can search Google, I got a career so fast, man. Until it's my funeral, I'ma be right here selling. I ain't usual. Are you aware I'm a peasant?
That was just like a little clip. If you want to check out the full Fire in the Booth, the first Fire in the Booth from Ghetts back in 2012, that is on the One Extra YouTube channel right now. So I'm assuming that you was kind of feeling the second one a bit better, Ghetts?
Yeah.
I wrote this when I realized that I get the picture and let's get in a hole. If was I holding back for? Nah, they ain't like me. Gotta get the hunger back. Stop spitting like when I was a younger man. I done been through so much in these last few years. Fake brothers wouldn't understand. I was born with the underhand, no silver spoon. And I laying right there, make a brother like me when I will the tune. I with the bomber fam. They say the struggle builds character. Well, I guess that's why you can base a movie on my life. There's some inspirational ish. I've been doing this for people of all races who never had it easy. God bless everyone. I'm interracial with this, and that ain't a word, but you know what I meant. And I ain't gotta say that I'm putting in 100. You already know the percent. There ain't no controlling me when I feel like the whole world's coming against me. Now the time's right, I'ma show them again. So hard I can put a hole in cement. Go for it then, go for it then. Probably won't reply, but I love it. You ain't the first, and I swear in the Bible, and you won't be the last, I expect it. You know what they do in the crime scene when they want to be respected? Whose name gets called out? That's right, you guessed it. Mr. Top 3 selected. Could've made Lord of the Mics do. Triple the numbers it done, but why would I do that? I make another man get rich.
Do you know what? Like, you sounded like
I was in more of a zone.
You can actually hear it.
Yeah.
You sounded like you was after something or somebody in the second one.
Damn.
Like the first one you came in and it was like, obviously, light work, Ghetts comes in, shells it like...
Nah, do you know what? I didn't know what was actually happening in the first one.
Them ones. Like you listened to a few other people's, I was like, I'm going to readjust that.
Yeah, I say I'm going back. I'm going back.
Yeah, that second one definitely had like some added edge to it. I don't know what that was, man. So 2012 and 2013, you're firing the booths. It was time for an album.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2014, man.
Yeah.
The debut album from Ghetts.
Aye, fam, that was a moment for me, you know. Cause you know what? I'd been away for so long, I weren't sure.
That's that, like,
in all honesty.
Even the most confident of artists and knowing you and seeing you as an artist over your career, like you are one of the most confident artists, but it can affect the best of us.
I weren't sure, you know, fam. Hold on, wait, what you got lined up? Because I saw one.
Oh, go on.
I saw one I didn't like.
We're gonna Ghetts is making sure that we play everything that he likes.
Because I saw one, I was saying, nah, let's go put that.
Why were you so unsure about the album, firstly?
Nah, I weren't unsure
about the album, but about, you know,
like,
how it was going to be received or how you...
Like, I always do something not even try, but I always accidentally go against the grain. Like, accidentally, I don't even do it on purpose. Hold on.
We're just having a little flick through the track listing.
Flick through, fans. Gotta see sure everything's alright, cuz. Nah, they're all blessed. There was one that begins with P.
Oh. We've dropped that one. You will be hearing any songs that begin with P by Ghetts on this show.
That other one's alright. This one's cool. Like, yeah, man can work with that.
Alright, sweet. We're nice.
No, but yeah. So with the album, I'd been out for so long, man. And I just, you know, it was... I just had my daughter talk. This what it was. I just had my daughter, and I was nowhere near ignorant. Yeah. And I know what everyone loves about me.
They wanted you to come and be ignorant, and you was kind of you was in daddy mode. You was a family man now, bro.
Fam. I was so far away from that. But they embraced it, fam.
What did you struggle? Like, was you at home thinking, what do I like?
Nah, I just done me. I just said everything I felt, like I normally do. I just said everything I felt, and you know what? The fans embraced it.
They more than embraced it, bruv. Like, not only the fans embraced it, which of course is the most important, but you know, the critics, the industry, you know, the people who give you the ticks and the whatnots, they embraced it as well. 3 Mobo nominations, a BET nomination, award for the hardest working artist at the AIM Awards, the Independent Awards, 2 Urban Music Awards for Best Album and Best Male. Like, you were literally cleaning up in 2014, man. It was massively received.
Yes, man. Because all I could say is my truth, fam, and how I felt.
Yeah.
And now I'm just back in ignorant mode.
So anyone who was like getting used to the kind of, you know, non-ignorant, little bit more responsible Ghetts, he's gone. When you actually think about it, the catalogue is mad.
Yeah, nah, it's mad still, man.
The catalogue is very mad. This one lifted off of the Rebel With a Cause album, which was out in 2014. The debut album at that, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very, very well received as well, man. That was a very big album, bro.
Blessings.
Very big album, which I guess brings us kind of up to date, because off the back of that, you know, off the back of all those awards and the accolades, it was like, for me, even having known you for the amount of time I'd known you and seen what you'd done, like when that album dropped and I saw what you achieved that year with the amount of gigs and the amount of work you was doing, and you literally, like, you went up a notch as an artist, like in my opinion, I'm sure in a lot of people's opinion, man, because like, you know, when you can deliver an album and pull off the campaign around it.
Yeah, it's different.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
So being able to do that was definitely a big thing. And since then, nothing's really, you know, it's still onwards and upwards, man.
Onwards and upwards, mate.
You've been onwards and upwards, mate. You've been shutting down the shows as always.
Yeah.
Festival season's been getting a load of gets.
Yeah, do you know what?
What's it been like? Because I know MCs, when they touch festivals, it's a different energy.
Fam, you see Wireless, fam. Let me just say,
I saw footage. It was.
Fam, let me just say, everyone. I just want to big up every single person that was in that crowd for my performance at Wireless, because you see that when I watch that back here, I'm so critical of myself. Yeah. I'm just always criticizing myself. Sometimes I never take in the moments. That's the moment I took in. I was like, yo, you know when everything's connecting, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's connecting, cause like.
Literally.
Lyric for lyric is connecting. Like,
literally,
yo,
bro.
It was crazy.
And that, I'm sure, is just testament to not just only the last couple of years you've had, but all that early groundwork, all the way back from Ghetto Gospel.
Like, yeah, definitely, man. You know, like, there's a lot of people that have been with me from the start. I'm grateful for those people in the fan base also, man. Like, even certain times when I can, I just have a conversation with a person just to see like what their view is of like the music and whatnot, like, because they've been with me from the start, so they've seen the 2000 life Kid Ghetts like at his most aggiest, go to Ghetto Gospel, from Ghetto Gospel to Freedom of Speech, from Freedom of Speech, Calm Before the Storm, Merry Christmas EPs, Momentum 1 and 2, Rebel of a Cause. You know what I'm saying?
It's a long journey they've been on, man.
Yeah, exactly. So just to like, bro, like, you've been on a journey for this long, pick up yourself, like, you know.
Yeah, no, it has to be done, man.
I want to take a picture of you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Salute to all the fans. I wanted to ask you, did you ever make it to Carnival?
Nah, I'm not going there, Togs. Blood.
That is like, that could very much well be a draw out.
Have you got a helicopter for me? With a ladder?
We might have to get that sorted next year. I can't believe how fast time has flown, man.
It's gone quick.
This could have been like a 2-hour convo.
Trust me, Togs. Thank you for having me, though, bro. It's
like,
always appreciated, man.
Anytime, man.